to another episode of the Speaker Toolkit. This is the brand new series for female speakers that want to master the art of speaking, feel really powerful and unwavering confidence when they are using their voice, when they are delivering their message, so that they can inspire their audience, convert their audience into their clients, and really have a positive impact on a big scale. So this episode is all about audience engagement. Now, I am a huge fan of audience participation coming from a performance background. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Gemma Ann Barnes. I am a performance and speaking coach, and I work with really high performing women. I help them own the stage, really master their powerful voice, and become famous from literally one speaking gig, one speaking event. So let's dive in to 5 ways that you can use audience participation or audience engagement to really boost your authority, to command your audience, to captivate your audience, and to convert your audience into lifelong clients. This is going to be split into 2 different sections, because the way I see it is there are 2 parties, really, 2 ways of doing audience participation. You either get audience to participate verbally using their voice in a spoken way, or you get your audience to respond to you, to participate, to engage with you in an action or a movement. So let's break these down. There's 5 ways in total that I absolutely love that I wanted to give you on this episode so that you can put them in your speaker toolkit and pull them out when you need them. So let's dive into the spoken one first. So spoken, you've got 2 ways really with the spoken. You can either get people to use their voice as a whole, as a group, get the entire room of people answering you. That looks something like this. If you agree with what I'm saying, shout yes, and everybody responds. Or after the count of 3, I want everyone to shout leading lady energy. 1, 2, 3, and everyone shouts leading lady energy. That is something that that's my thing. That's why I use that. If you're one of my clients, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, if you're new to my world, leading lady energy is something you will hear me mention. It's something I'm very big on, passionate about. We'll do another episode on that. The other way you can get your audience to respond verbally, spoken, with their voice is individually. Now, this looks like a roaming microphone very often. So you'll have a runner maybe that goes around the room, they have a handheld microphone, and they will literally put it to people when they want to maybe share a belief, share a thought, share a win, share a story, share a moment with their voice. So they'll tell a piece of their story, or they will answer a question you've got. And that's on an individual basis. Very often with this way, something to note is 99% of people don't respond particularly well when you shove a microphone in their face. However, when you tell them that it's coming and you ask them, this kind of leans into the audience participation from a physical standpoint, so a movement or an action. You can tell them to raise their hand if they've got something they want to share. That's when your runner can go over and hand them the microphone. You could be crazy bold and bring somebody up on stage if you wanted to as well. That kind of combines the 2, doesn't it really? That's a physical action because they're actually having to move and get onto the stage, but they also will be using their voice. Now, group participation, if you want the entire room to be engaging with you, to be shouting something back at you, there are kind of 2 ways of doing this, and this comes down to you mastering the art of public speaking, this is the whole point of this. So I'm going to give you 2 ways of doing this, because some rooms you speak in, you'll get a response. People will be very vocal. They'll automatically respond yes or whatever the word is when you ask. Are you following me? Say yes. Yes. Other rooms may be less responsive, so you might have to ask again. If you're in the UK, I'm going to use pantomime as a really good example. It's behind you. You never just say that once, do you? When you go and see a panto and you're shouting something out, it's never once that you say it. They always go, what? I can't hear you. It's behind you. And you literally, as an audience member, are led down the garden path to what they want you to say, to what they want you to deliver, that they want it louder. And you can do this as a group, as a room. You can literally say to the room, I think we can do better than that. I want everyone to shout, silver pine cone, after 3. 1, 2, 3, everyone shouts, silver pine cone. I think we can be a bit louder than that. Let's raise the roof even louder after 3. 1, 2, 3, and everyone shouts silver pine cone even louder. Random, but it was right there behind me and I saw it. From another angle, you can get the room to compete against each other. You can split it in half. You can do this side of the room and that side of the room. You can use whatever words you want to use, but this is for engagement, for audience participation, to really get them sucked into you, but also get to know you. If you are not the type of person that wants to have people shouting things out, that wants to be rallying the room in that sense, then there are other ways you can get your audience to participate, which goes kind of into the second category. So let's just recap this first part. Voice. Using your voice, spoken, audible, that's what this first sort of part is. You can do that either as an individual, you have a roaming person, it's one single person responds to you, engages with you, but the rest of the audience is watching it and taking it in that way. The other way is you get the whole room engaging with you. And like I said, that can literally be getting them using their voice to kind of join in. Or you can do a bit of like that wasn't loud enough, like, and get them to really switch on. That I find is like I'm in the room moment, when you do get the audience to repeat what they've already said or battle it out against each other. That's just a fun idea that you can use when you're public speaking if you want to create a little bit more hype. Now, this other side of things with the movement, the action, this is any physical action. So writing, that's one way. You can say to your audience, okay, well, now I want you to write down your goal for 2027. I want you to write down your goal for 2026. I want you to write down a word that you think relates to XYZ, whatever you're talking about. You get them to write something down. Or you could go along the lines of, if it's more from a belief standpoint, or if you're speaking less like facts and figures, but more from an energetic place, I want you to write down what you want your life to look like. I want you to write down the belief you want to get rid of in the next hour. Like, whatever you want it to be, you can ask them to write that down on a piece of paper. Another very simple way that a number of speakers use this, because this again is a very easy way of getting people to respond to you, is if you know what I'm talking about, raise your arm. If you've ever been in the situation that I'm describing, raise your arm. If you understand what I'm saying, if you've seen this before, if you've met me before, any kind of yes or no answer question, raise your arm. That works. Or you could do a physical movement. You could say, if you haven't done XYZ before, I want you to stand up. Okay, sit down. If you have, I want you to stand up. Like, you can use, again, you can use movement, physical, whether it's putting your arm up, putting your arms in the air, putting your hands on your head, standing up, sitting, laying down on the floor, whatever your action is, it's a physical body movement that you can use. Now, another way that is slightly more modernised actually, and includes a device. Now, you could say to your audience, and this is is a bit of a double-edged sword actually, in a sense, sometimes when you're asking for, if you have your phone with you, I want you to get it out. That's a very clear direction. When you are doing audience participation, audience engagement, that is something to note. It has to be so incredibly clear and specific. So if you want people to get the torch up on their phone and wave it in the air, you have to be very clear. I want you to get your phone out from wherever it is, turn on your torch and hold it up in the air. Now we're going to wave our phone torches from side to side. You've given them a very, very clear instruction of what you want. You need to then do the same thing when you want them to stop. And the same thing with your voice. I want you to scream as loud as you can, let's raise this roof. And when I clap my hands together, you're going to stop. You want to do that before everyone's going wild and then nobody can hear you, even if you're on your microphone. Another way that you can do it using a phone that's a really smart idea is take a photo of me on this stage, or take a photo of this specific presentation slide. If there's a slide that holds something really powerful, maybe it's a quote that you've come up with, it's a quote that you live by, it's a quote that you say, or an image of your before and after, or whatever, it's something really important to you. I want you to take this photo and, save it on your phone, save it as your screensaver, share it on social media and tag me. You can do the same with video. I want you to video yourself doing this specific action, or I want you to video you with me in the background. I want you to take a video of this event, share it on social media and tag me. This is a very, very smart way, not only of engaging your audience in the room, it is a way of visibility outside of the room. So this kind of crosses over into another zone and is actually very smart. Very smart. So if you want to add anything like that in, I would just be very, very clear with how you conduct it. And conduct is a key word there. You are the commander. You are the conductor. You need the lights up in the room, then you ask the tech team for the lights up if they've been dimmed. If you need a handheld microphone to be run around, tell the tech team before you step on stage that I'm going to be asking audience members for their individual responses, so I'm going to need a microphone and a runner out in the room, so that you don't have some poor person running around like a headless chicken, like going to get a microphone, making sure it's on, someone at the desk going, oh hang on, what microphone have they got, is it unmuted? Like it's a lot of, it seems like such a simple thing, which it is if you plan it ahead of time. Which is why with my one-to-one clients, I will always make sure we have got set audience participation moments. Whether you're taking them through an exercise, maybe you're up on stage and you're getting them to join in with a dance routine or some dance moves. Maybe you're teaching them a really powerful phrase that you use, your slogan, your, mission, whatever it is. You need to have that pre-mapped out. And like I said at the beginning, there are some audiences that will be fully they're on the edge of their seat, they're ready to go. Maybe they've had a really fantastic MC beforehand that is hyping you up, that's getting you in the energy. they're there, they're ready, they're literally eating at the palm of your hand before you've even walked on stage. And then there'll be other occasions where the MC maybe is just not a hype woman or not as experienced in being on stage or doing that sort of thing. That's just not their vibe, and the energy kind of dips. Or maybe you don't even have an MC. You don't have someone in between speakers. It's just speaker, and you are responsible for lifting the energy. That comes down to you, your entrance, and that's why I would have your specific audience participation moments not only set, so you've got like, okay, this, I'm going to use this one, I'm going to use this one. And you can try in different speeches over the next few months, you can try these different ways. You can try a written one, you can try the physical, like arms up or wave your arms or stand up out of your chair if you XYZ. You can try the individual, you can try the group, the whole room responding to you. You can try the phone, you know. You can use any of these and test them out for yourself. This is why I've given you 5 different ways, because you might like certain ones. Maybe as a person, getting the entire room up and cheering and jumping and shouting and waving their arms just isn't your vibe. Or maybe that is your vibe, and getting them to write something down, you're like, well, every note I've ever taken at a conference, I never go back and look at it, so I'm not wasting my time getting people to do that. Maybe that's you. So it's about choosing what works best for you, which you will know when you do it. So try these out over the next few months and test what works best. It's like putting a different outfit on, like putting a dress on, jumpsuit. Okay, what fits, what doesn't, what looks good on me, what do I not like? You know, get the vibe. You might also find that different rooms are very different. You might be in a room of people that is far more subdued, and actually the written one works really nicely. You might be in a room full of, you know, modern influencer phone type people, so something like that is going to be really great. You know, for them it's going to be very attractive, because if they tag you and you reshare it, they also get visibility. So like, that's quite a smart tool if you're in a room of people that are very big on social media. Same with if you're in a room of people that are, there's definitely high energy, you know, and they're there, they want to use their voice, they want to be a part of something. So there's 5 ways that you can use. Try them out, and my top tip with all of them is be so crystal clear on what you want from your audience. Like I said, you have to command it. You are the conductor on that stage. If you want a microphone, you ask for a microphone out in the audience. If you want the lights up, you tell the tech team to put the lights up. If you want everyone on their feet, you ask them to stand up on their feet. You ask them again, you ask them again. You make sure everyone is on their feet. If you see somebody next to you that is not standing up and they are able, then get them up. Pull them out of their chair. You know, there are going to be some moments where you really drive it, and then there's going to be other moments where you're like, that was a breeze. Like I said, try these out, give them a go. Let me know your favourite way to participate, to engage with your audience at a public speaking event. Whether you're being a keynote speaker, whether you are speaking on a stage for the first time, whether it's an interview, whether it's a panel, I want to know. What's your favourite way to engage the audience? And if you try these, come back and let me know as well. I'd love to know. You can find me on Instagram at @GemmaRoundBarnes if you want to drop me a message, or if you want any support on your upcoming speech, your upcoming event, and you really want to lock in your audience engagement. And for now, add these into your toolbox because they're a really handy speaker tool. I'll see you in the next episode.